most likely to improvise during a scene.
Sasha.
Marvel just pulled off one of its coldest moves ever, and they did it without saying a word. One actor erased, another elevated. And somehow, the man who built his career pranking politicians and playing outrageous characters just became the future of the Marvel Universe. Sasha Baron Cohen didn't just join the MCU, he hijacked it. And the person left behind? Dominique Thorne, once hailed as Marvel's next big thing, now completely erased from the story she helped start. But how did it happen, and why? This isn't just another casting change, it's a quiet war behind the scenes, one filled with studio silence, social media meltdowns, and a shocking twist no one saw coming. Dominique Thorne was supposed to be the future, cast as Riri Williams, a tech genius stepping into Iron Man's shoes. She had the brains, the buzz, and the backing of Marvel's PR machine. She was introduced with flair in Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, hyped as a cultural icon in the making. But when Ironheart dropped on Disney+, everything fell apart. Fans were stunned, and not in a good way. The writing felt all over the place. The pacing, a mess. The effects looked unfinished. But most of all, Dominique's performance got called out. Viewers described it as flat, robotic, and emotionless. Comments rolled in comparing her delivery to someone reading off a cue card. And that was just the beginning. While Ironheart was collapsing under the weight of fan backlash and studio silence, something unexpected happened. A name popped up in the cast list, and it didn't make sense at first. Sasha Baron Cohen, the guy best known for playing Borat, Ali G, and Bruno. A provocateur, a satirist, a wild card. And Marvel had cast him? Most fans assumed it was a quirky cameo, a one-off joke in a show already struggling to find its tone. But when Sasha finally appeared, everything changed. He wasn't playing some throwaway role, he was Mephisto, a legendary demonic villain from Marvel Comics, long rumored to enter the MCU. And Sasha didn't just play him, he owned him. From the first frame, he was electric, creepy, charismatic, and completely unpredictable. Every glance felt calculated. Every smirk made you second-guess his motives. Viewers didn't know whether to laugh, shiver, or trust him. And that's exactly why it worked. In a show criticized for being flat and formulaic, Sasha's Mephisto was chaos incarnate, and fans loved it. Within hours, social media lit up. Wait, was that Mephisto? Sasha killed it. Only reason to finish Ironheart is this guy. Mephisto greater than Riri, not even close. Hashtags like hashtag Mephisto rises, hashtag Sasha saves Ironheart, and hashtag more Mephisto trended on Twitter and TikTok. YouTube exploded with breakdowns, Easter egg hunts, and wild fan theories about how long Marvel had been planning this. But here's the kicker. They weren't. Insiders revealed Sasha was originally brought in for a minor supporting role. But when producers saw early footage of him as Mephisto, the tone changed. Executives realized what they had on their hands. A potential franchise-shifting villain with serious star power. A new face for Marvel's darker, supernatural universe. And just like that, Dominique Thorne's Riri Williams, once the headline hero of the show, became background noise. Sasha didn't just show up, he hijacked the story. And Marvel? They leaned in hard. Mephisto started getting more screen time. The tone of the episodes shifted. Suddenly, the show's most talked about scenes weren't about Riri or Tony Stark's legacy. They were about Mephisto's cryptic lines, his eerie powers, and his unexplained presence in the MCU. Even the music changed when he showed up. While Dominique was struggling to carry scenes, Sasha was stealing them effortlessly. And just like that, a character who was never supposed to be the main event became the future. Fans wanted more. Marvel needed a win. And Sasha Baron Cohen had delivered it. Behind the scenes, Marvel was paying close attention. The praise for Sasha was undeniable. The backlash toward Dominique, impossible to ignore. And then, silence. Ironheart faded. Dominique stopped appearing in press. No sequel announcement. No crossover news. No future plans. Then came the twist. Marvel announced a brand new series centered on Mephisto, with Sasha in the lead. But Riri Williams? Completely gone. Not even a mention. Not a cameo. Nothing. Dominique, who helped introduce Mephisto's character to the MCU, was now nowhere to be found. And fans started to notice. At first, Dominique stayed silent. No interviews, no tweets. Just the sound of her name disappearing from Marvel's future. Then, she snapped. A cryptic Instagram story. Black background. 2 words. Noted bet. The timing was too perfect. Fans instantly linked it to the Mephisto announcement. But that was only the beginning. She started posting more. Blurry clips from Ironheart, captions that felt like self-roasts, and fan comments praising her performance despite the writing. Then came the tweet that broke the internet. Funny how you get blamed for a show you didn't write, didn't direct, and weren't allowed to shape. But sure, let the internet pretend you had all the power. It was raw, it was real, and it split the fandom in two. As Marvel kept silent, the internet did not. The moment Dominique Thorne broke her silence, first with that cryptic, noted bet Instagram story, then with her bold tweet blaming others for Ironheart's failure, the entire fandom split in two. This wasn't just backlash, it was war. And it was playing out across Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, and TikTok with no signs of slowing down. One side of the internet rallied behind Dominique hard. They claimed she was thrown into an impossible situation, a rushed series, messy writing, poor creative direction, and the pressure of representing both a black female lead and the legacy of Iron Man. Supporters pointed out how Marvel had fumbled female-led stories before. Just look at how Captain Marvel was torn apart online, or how She-Hulk became meme fodder overnight. The pattern, they argued, was clear. Marvel hyped these characters up, then gave them inconsistent material and no real support. And when things went sideways, they let the actors take the hit. On TikTok, fan edits began circulating showing behind-the-scenes footage of Dominique smiling during press interviews, juxtaposed with headlines slamming her performance. The message was obvious. Marvel used her, then tossed her aside. The hashtags came fast. Hashtag Justice for Riri. Hashtag Marvel did her dirty. Hashtag Let Dominique cook. These fans weren't just calling out the studio, they were calling out the culture. Comment sections lit up with discussions about race, representation, and how quick Hollywood is to replace black women when a project doesn't go perfectly. To them, Dominique wasn't the villain. She was the victim of a broken system. But the other side? They weren't having it. Critics of Dominique pushed back hard, and they were ruthless. They argued that no amount of diversity, hype, or "it's the writing" excuses could cover up one simple truth. She wasn't ready for the spotlight. According to them, great actors rise above bad scripts. Look at Elizabeth Olsen in WandaVision or Tom Hiddleston in Loki. Both delivered legendary performances in storylines that could have easily flopped. The difference? Charisma, presence, depth. And Dominique, they claimed, had none of it. YouTube commentary channels uploaded entire breakdowns of her most criticized scenes, labeling them flat, emotionless, or forced. Reddit threads filled with meme after meme of Riri's blank stares during supposed emotional moments. TikToks roasted her delivery line by line. And that viral tweet? Funny how you get blamed for a show you didn't write, didn't direct, and weren't allowed to shape. Critics called it tone-deaf, entitled, unprofessional. They said she was deflecting, refusing to take accountability, and worse, alienating fans instead of winning them back. One Reddit post summarized it like this: Marvel gave her the car, she crashed it. Now she's mad the fans won't let her drive again. While Dominique was posting cryptic quotes, Sasha Baron Cohen was doing nothing. No interviews, no tweets, no statements. And yet, his character was everywhere. The contrast was striking. Dominique, once the star, now looked like she was fighting just to be remembered. Sacha? He barely spoke, and still managed to trend. Some fans began joking that Marvel had cast Mephisto in real life, a shadowy trickster who came in through the side door, hijacked the spotlight, and left chaos in his wake. Only this time, it wasn't a punchline. It was true. And the more Dominique pushed back, the more fans, even neutral ones, began to feel like she wasn't handling the backlash well. In a media landscape where perception is power, Dominique's rising frustration started to damage her image even further. She wasn't seen as the underdog anymore. She was seen as the actor who couldn't let go. While Dominique Thorne was spiraling through fan backlash and social media silence, Marvel was already making moves, big ones, but not in her direction. Instead, the studio shifted its full attention toward the character that fans couldn't stop talking about, Mephisto, and more importantly, Sasha Baron Cohen's version of him. What began as a side character in a floundering series had become something far bigger. Mephisto wasn't just a standout moment in Ironheart. He was now the most talked about villain in the MCU, and Marvel wasted no time in turning that spark into fire. At first, fans thought it had to be a joke. Rumors started circulating that Mephisto might be getting his own Disney Plus series, and led by Sacha himself. Marvel fans are used to wild speculation, but this one spread like wildfire. Reddit lit up, YouTube theory videos dropped daily. TikTok edits of Sacha's Mephisto filled For You pages. People began analyzing every word he said, Every frame he appeared in. Was he tied to WandaVision? Was he pulling the strings behind Loki? Was Mephisto the true architect of the multiverse madness? And then, the rumor was confirmed. Marvel dropped the official announcement. A Mephisto-led series was in development. Darker, edgier, more mature than anything Marvel had greenlit in years. A show diving deep into the supernatural corners of the MCU, twisted mirror dimensions, psychological horror, moral corruption, and the origin story of the literal devil. And here's the catch. Not a single mention of Riri Williams. No recap of Ironheart. No connection to the show where Mephisto first appeared. It was as if Dominique Thorne's entire arc had been erased from canon. Marvel didn't just move on. They pretended Ironheart never happened. The marketing told you everything you needed to know. The teaser for Mephisto's show leaned fully into horror, crimson lighting, gothic architecture, whispers in dead languages, flashes of twisted visions, and Sasha Baron Cohen walking through it all with a grin, half devil, half puppet master. Gone were the bright colors and coming-of-age tropes of Ironheart. This was something different, something Marvel hadn't dared to attempt before, and fans were eating it up. Every new promo, every leaked detail, it all pointed in one direction. Marvel had found its next breakout star, and it wasn't the one they planned. Mephisto had become the focal point of Marvel's future supernatural slate, rumored to link with upcoming projects like Blade, Agatha All Along, and even Doctor Strange 3. Insiders claimed that Sasha's portrayal had reshaped internal planning. Suddenly, Mephisto wasn't just a villain, he was a pillar. And the irony? All of this was launched inside a show that fans widely consider one of Marvel's biggest flops. While Sasha's devilish charisma was fueling fan excitement and media buzz, Dominique Thorne's character was being quietly buried. No cameos, no rumors of a return, no Phase 7 teases, no merchandise. Her presence was being strategically scrubbed from Marvel's digital marketing. Her name was no longer listed in Disney Plus cast highlights. Her character arc, which had once been hyped as the future of the MCU, now looked like a discarded footnote in someone else's origin story. And the message from Marvel was unmistakable. Riri Williams was done. Behind the scenes, industry insiders began using one brutal phrase to describe what was happening: Marvel's cleanest erasure yet. It wasn't loud, it wasn't messy, it was surgical. The character they once propped up with headlines and praise was now being quietly cut from all future plans. Not with a press release, but with silence. The difference between Sasha Baron Cohen and Dominique Thorne came down to one thing: momentum. Sasha walked into the MCU as a wild card. No expectations, no pressure. Just a bizarre character in a failing show. And with just a few scenes, he flipped the narrative. He gave fans something to believe in again: mystery, danger, darkness, and most importantly, unpredictability. Meanwhile, Dominique carried the burden of being the next Iron Man. And when the show flopped, she carried the blame. She pushed back publicly. Sasha, he stayed silent and let the performance speak for itself. And in an industry like Marvel's, that kind of silence, cool, controlled, confident, is everything. Dominique Thorne wasn't just removed, she was erased. Quietly, strategically. Her merch disappeared. Her interviews vanished from Marvel's channels. Her name pulled from Comic-Con panels she was once expected to headline. Industry insiders began whispering a brutal phrase: quiet cut. That's how Marvel ends relationships without drama. No firing, no statement, just a slow fade into nothing. Dominique gave years to the MCU, and in the end, she didn't even get a goodbye. In the Marvel machine, silence is louder than scandal. Dominique's emotional tweets, her passive-aggressive posts, in an industry that rewards control, it made her look unprofessional. Sasha, on the other hand, leaned into the chaos, delivered a wild, brilliant performance, got a whole franchise built around him in record time. One fell, one rose. And Marvel made sure only one stayed. Dominique Thorne went from leading the future of Marvel to being completely erased from it. No sequel, no redemption arc, no place in Phase 5 or 6, just silence. And Sasha Baron Cohen, he went from comedic provocateur to Marvel's newest villain kingpin, with his own universe being built around him. It's one of the coldest transitions in MCU history. One career destroyed, another reborn, all without saying a word.